Good morning, everybody. I'm guessing that if you are clicking on this, you are probably cuspers of Sagittarius and Capricorn, and you are the last in my series of cusps, which I decided to do to start my channel. I only started maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe going into 4. I started my channel with cusps because I don't see a lot of, anything for cuspers. I mean, everything is, on your horoscope, and that's nice and everything, except for, those of us who are cuspers never quite fit. I'm an Aries Taurus cusp myself, and it's always been kind of a little frustrating. So I thought that this would be a fun way. So you guys are at, the end of my cycle, Sagittarius Capricorn. So what's been interesting is, up to now, the last 4 or 5 cusp groups that I've been doing, I have several card decks and trying to decide which deck I'm going to use, right? And each one would come up and I was going to use, it's this one here. It's for each one, I wanted to use the Green Witch deck, right? And they're really pretty cards. And it's actually the first deck that I ever bought. But each one would come up and no. Spirit would say, no, that's not the one. But this morning, in preparing for this, for your reading, which I do, I picked up a very witchy undertone, in a good way, right? So it's interesting with witches because the people who had been witches, burned and tortured and whatnot, were actually the healers, right? I mean, you could say it was religious persecution, and yet I really don't see that the religion changed dramatically. It was just the witches were people like myself who were given gifts. Pardon me, because I'm kind of an awkward shuffler because I have small hands. That were given gifts of healing, and those in power weren't making money off of that. And not only that, but witches tended to be female, so we can't have that. So in your journey, if you're reading or if you're viewing videos like this, you're already kind of on a journey of enlightenment and questioning what you maybe have been taught, right? Even this, right? Even this pentacle. I mean, a lot of us think of that as evil. Wiccans use this symbol, but a lot of us have been taught that that is the sign of the devil. But it's not. What it's meant to represent is the 4 elements, and the Creator. Okay? So what's more beautiful than that? So anyway, Sagittarius Capricorn, also, coincidentally called the cusp of prophecy. Let's see what I can prophesy for you all. I'm going to start off, and then if I need a confirmation, I've got this really beautiful pre-Raphaelite deck. The pre-Raphaelites, I studied art in university, in art history. The pre-Raphaelites were an interesting group, and they really celebrated, they really celebrated the spirit of women, aka witches. I want to say too, see, my manicure is just awful. Awful. I'm sorry, I maybe should do, same reason I don't really go on camera is because my whole deal is focusing on this for you, and I have a lot of things to do. I'm an intuitive healer. I'm a single mother. I have horses to feed. I have another job. I don't have time or interest to be putting on a ton of makeup and doing up my hair and all that stuff. I mean, my focus is helping people and making great coffee and making sure my beautiful horses are looked after. I'm in Canada. I was saying yesterday that I often give a weather report, and that's just part of our Canadian culture. If you're not from Canada, actually, and you're on YouTube anyway, there's a really good, it's from the 80s, I think, and it's called SCN, and it was a comedy network. And on there was skits by Bob and Doug McKenzie, which, was a comedic look at, Canadian stereotypes. But I mean, quite often stereotypes are, true, right? Like, so let me just focus. And so it's warm today. My window's open a little bit because it's nice to get fresh air, especially when I'm channeling. A weird thing is when I'm channeling, one or the other arm will fall asleep. But if you hear like loud things going by, we have a lot of big diesel trucks. We're in a rural area here, and it's just, we need big trucks here. Okay, so I have a feeling that this could be a romance. A love reading. I'm also picking up just off the bat that this can be, that there may be more energy towards a collective of younger women. Or having to deal with younger women, whether if it's men watching, it might be younger men watching, although that's not usually typical, but or fathers, checking out what's going on with their daughters, or either that or newer beginnings, a new phase in life. I mean, I haven't picked up the cards yet. I haven't, a lot of readers will set the cards out first, but I don't like to do that because I like you guys to see that what I'm doing is authentic. I don't follow like the Celtic cross or any of those forms because maybe as an artist too, I have a spirit that just like, let things happen as they should. Okay, so, there we go. Well, isn't that interesting? We have released your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Okay, I just got a message. Because we have some contrary advice here. Release your ex. Flirt. So extend your lightheartedness to others and give your relationship a chance. So you can get where I'm thinking, what? Even as us, we're readers and we're like, what? Like, is that right? Should I put that back? And it's like, no, because it always comes up. The more confusing these oracle cards are often, I find the more powerful the reading is. So this is releasing your ex, flirt, and give your relationship a chance. So I'm thinking, release your ex and give your relationship a chance. So, but right off the bat, and at the bottom of the deck, it's calling in your soulmate. Now, I'm just wanting you to check out this woman, because she is a prayerful woman. She is looking for something more. She's been dating Spirit says to take this card. Okay, she has been, this is the overall. You know, there's not usually two, I don't usually have two levels of this, but you guys are different. This girl, this young woman, has already had some failed relationships. I actually have a young friend like this, and I love her to pieces. And she's so sick of immature young men and feeling like she's just used for her body, that men only go for her because she's pretty. She's really done. She is a beautiful young woman, but she also has a brain, and she is a young woman of substance. Okay. I have candles going here, so I'm just going to not use that. So, interestingly enough, this is really okay, and at the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles. It's a young woman. She's out of focus. Riding this powerful horse. Knight of Pentacles. Why is that doing that? Also a young blonde woman. She's a knight. You know, interestingly, I'm just kind of, pardon the pauses, because it's just like Spirit is talking to me and I need to focus on what they're saying. This is embracing the Nordic energy. I am Norwegian myself, very strongly inclined towards my Viking heritage. What's interesting about my young blonde friend, she's like me 30 years ago. You know, I'm 53. And went through a lot of this myself. A lot of us Nordic women, too, or Nordic spirited women. And by Nordic, I don't mean, I mean, I wasn't born and raised in Norway or Sweden, like, you know, I'm in Canada. I mean, with the DNA test, people are finding a surprising amount of people that you would never guess have Nordic blood do, because of course Vikings traveled the world, went down to Turkey, had trading routes all the way around. I mean, we know that, you know, the Vikings discovered Canada and didn't need to conquer it. They didn't. I mean, the Vikings did conquer and pillage because they needed the money. But they were also very good at going into countries that had resources, and instead of pillaging and taking everything, that they would create partnerships and trade. This is also a feminine strength, right? Instead of going ahead and burning everything down and saying, this is mine, going in instead and saying, let's work together for the benefit of both of us. Now, there's going to be, it'll be interesting to see what else comes out in the reading, because, you know, Spirit had me go off completely, and that is a bottom of the deck card. And I'm not going to take it. It says don't take it. We'll see if that comes out again. That is really interesting. And there, okay, this could be a super interesting reading. Bear with me if it takes long, because we're already, you know, 14 minutes in. I'm trying to keep things to like a half hour or so, but I'm picking up that you have got a lot going on. She's back at the bottom. I'm going to stick her in, see if she comes back out. This one seems to be stubborn, because she was actually, I do pre-shuffle, I shuffle, you know, before I turn the camera on. I shuffle 3 times, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. There's something powerful going on with you guys. Yeah. Okay, see, I'm just going to show you this one again. See her? She has had enough. And, you know, at the bottom it says, the time has come to clear your energy. So this is like, I'm sick of all these relationships that I've had that didn't honor who I am. The Spirit just says to me, High Priestess energy. So we'll see if that High Priestess comes out. I'm guessing yes. Okay. So, Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp. Cusp of prophecy, sorry. Prosperity too, hopefully. Two come out already. Now, I haven't asked a question yet, because usually, Spirit's being really tricky. I'm putting these back. We'll see if they come out. I hadn't asked the question yet, but these two come flying out in an interesting way. That's the Two of Cups, which is implying a relationship, a marriage, a soulmate relationship. And this is a Page of Chalices. So that's Page of Cups. A new beginning. No, not a new beginning. Somebody who's learning. Okay. A young person who's at the beginning of a spiritual journey is what Spirit is telling me now. I'm just going to look this up. Because this book does have some different interesting meanings. We have two chalices, though. Right off the batteroo. Yeah. Creativity, inspiration, using talents, practical use of skills, new relationship or phase of a current relationship. Artistic expression, psychic ability, cusp of prophecy. New social contracts, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm going to take these just as another more, I mean, I'm getting more overall energy cards. I mean, I knew this was going to be a wild ride. On the bottom, we're juggling. Okay, we got a lot of prophecy, or a lot of what's kind of the feel for these people. What's been going on in 2019 up to this point, for Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp of prosperity? What's been going on in the collective? Here's again. What's been going on in the... Okay, if that one shows up again, I'm taking it, because that's often a soulmate card. Okay. This is really giving me, remember it's Mercury retrograde too? Like, and there's a Knight of Chalices. That one I'm taking. So what's been going on in 2019 for Sagittarius Capricorns? I just love these cards. They're so kind of innocent. They're kind of medieval looking. You know what? And they're not huge cards. 1, 2, 3. There's 4 candles. There's 5. They're, I want to call them runes. they're like mini Stonehenges, right? And there's a path, there's this, going to another, kind of like transferring worlds. So this just speaks to me now of psychic ability. This is speaking though of the energy of a young man coming in, looking a little smug, offering this shiny cup. The horse even looks a little smug. Like, you know, I'm all that in a bag of chips. Okay? Now that crane in the background, I'm just going to check. Excuse me again, but we have got chalice energy already. I'm just going to check and see about that. Because sometimes it says marigold flower. Okay, the stork. Assemble beginnings. Devotion and opportunity. Okay. All right. So what else has been going on in 2019 and up to now? Okay, so there's been some juggling. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay, some internal conflict. I'm going to see what the book says for this, because I know traditionally this is a card of internal conflict. Of family struggles. But this is a deck that is a lot like the Good Tarot. It doesn't really have like negative, like it doesn't, it focuses on the good, but not everything. Yeah, it says not to. It says to take this as it resonates. These are young, very young men. Okay. Okay. Spirit just said these may be men of your past. They're all youthful. They look like students. You might have a connection of some sort between some of these, but not one of them. Oh, and Spirit just says they've all been trying to figure out how to manipulate you. You've been too much for them. They just wanted a pretty girl. They didn't want a pretty girl that has thoughts that they can't control. Because then the next card is the Seven of Swords, which in the traditional deck is deception. Okay, so like I said, this deck often, like if you read in the book, but we're intuitive readers, right? So we don't necessarily, we look at what the card says and what Spirit tells us more than what's in the book. Spirit will tell you to refer to the book if there's something in there you need to find. And every reading, you look at cards a little differently. So in this one, see her? It's not focusing really good. She is not happy. And she's standing in the doorway. Her arms are crossed. It's protecting her heart. This guy's coming. Look at what I got. I've got stuff for you. But all of a sudden I noticed that the Seven of Swords, she can't see them. It looks good. She's noticing that increasingly that something's off, but he's got 7 weapons against her to use. Wow. Because then the next card is the world. No, is the world tree. There is that stork again, or crane. Spirit just says you're learning to recognize evil and fly away. See, there's a really bright sunny day here. And it's like, this isn't right for me. This is the winter of our discontent. Spirit just says, the winter of our discontent. So that's been quite a busy energy leading up to this. Just was checking how much time we've spent, but I mean, hopefully you guys are patient. I know that you're not always. Okay, so what's going on now? Eight of Wands. I'm spending some time out here collecting my thoughts. Gathering my medicine. She has a knife there, but Spirit just says that can be a sword. The Ace of Swords is new beginning, like taking control of your thoughts, taking control of your kind of your destiny. Okay, this, like, that looks absolutely beautiful. The sun is shining on her. It's kind of misty and gray all around her, except for where she is. Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands. There, and it opens right there. News or communication coming from a distance, sudden progress. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, it seems like nothing's coming. You're praying. Please, let me. I can't take too many more mistakes. I want to fall in love with somebody worthy. Okay? So I'm going to collect my stuff here. Okay, what's going on? For Sagittarius. Ooh. So Eight of Wands. There's a King of Wands. This man, we're going to see if this man is an energy or an actual person coming into your life. This is showing him as an old man. It might be a guide. This is a guy who's artistic and creative in his thinking. Spirit's going to say this is a spirit guide. It doesn't have to be a man. It can be a male energy. And as we know, we have male and female energies. Women can have more masculine energy and vice versa. Like, I mean, nobody has even, right? But what a pleasant looking fellow. This could be a grandfather. This could be a dad. Spirit says he's praying. He's praying for you. Somebody's got your back. Okay? Ooh, that's very nice. And very warm and cuddly feeling. Wishes. You use wands to make wishes. So that's like prayers. Right? So as I say prayers, this guy comes out. In this deck, he's called the High Priest. He's the Hierophant, traditionally. There's a swallow coming to tell him. So this is, I mean, because I was talking about people praying for you or setting up good intentions for you, you have a soul tribe. You might not be aware of them. No, yeah. Okay, so Spirit's just saying you have a soul tribe, but they might not be earthly. They might be spirit guides. You might be increasingly sensing spirit guides, grandfathers, fathers, okay, who've passed, representing men, older men, who are looking at you. These had been or are good men, looking at the dipshits that have been in your life, and it's like, nah, right? She can do better than this. She can do better than this. This is very much a reading for a young woman. For young women, maybe blonde, okay? But if you're men watching this, then you have somebody or will have somebody in your life that's dealing with this. It could be a friend. It could be somebody that's like a daughter to you. You could be this person. Okay? And this reading can help give you some clarity about this girl. This is really kind of making me feel a little emotional because this was me. But I didn't have this. So whoever you are watching this, because my channel is so small, I have 11 subscribers. If you're watching this, I can't help but think it's meant for you. If it's not, you can click off or just see what I got to say. This is turning out to be a long one. Where are we at? Sagittarius Capricorn. See, my right hand is completely gone to sleep. That is masculine. The masculine side. Okay. 9 of chalices. Oh, and the 7 of chalices. Where are we at? I love this card because it's a witchy energy. That's 7 of cups. Is this you or is this the... Oh, okay. This isn't you. You also have women on your side. Look at the fire. So you have a soul tribe on Earth. Okay. Nine of chalices is often somebody who's, traditionally sitting there thinking, kind of relaxed because they've got 9 full cups. Everybody's missing something, but this card, she's rubbing this ball, crystal ball, and looking very pleased. And then there's the cups. She's saying, she's in your background, but she's saying, you have what you need. Pick up your cups. Okay? And this 7 of chalices, see the little fairies? And the butterflies? And she's pondering, so this is like the spirit of you now. It's like, really? I am stronger than I knew. I'm stronger than I knew. Let's see if a moon card comes out. I can dance under the moon, regain my strength, find the clarity that I need, and learn who I am. so I don't fall into this pit. I'm like, this girl is really terrified of collecting another one of these. Okay? So she's really working at releasing her ex. But we also have this give your relationship a chance. So either you've broken up with these guys, blah, 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 and you've had somebody come in that doesn't, he seems like another one of these. Or he is one of these. He's been deceptive. I'm hesitant to say sometimes people can change, because that is the road to ruin right there. But what I'm going to say is listen to your gut. Listen to the older people in your life that are looking at this. Okay? Start collecting your power. As your energy changes, what you attract, what comes in and goes out, changes. So if your energy changes to be strong and powerful, you will stop attracting the losers and the deceivers. And as they come in, you will spot them right away. But if there's somebody who's coming in who maybe doesn't know any better. I mean, these guys are young, who maybe grew up learning to be one way. And again, I'm really hesitant to say this. But listen to, we're going to get more cards on this. But sometimes people will come back. Sometimes you have to let them go. Let them go. If they come back, if they've done their work, and while you've done your work, that they were, oh, okay. This guy isn't necessarily a deceiver. He's playing games. He's like, no, I want to have the power. Look, I'm just going to do what I want, and you're mad at me. I've been out all night with the boys, and you're just going to be in a little huff. I'm going to bring you these rabbits here, and then you're going to be happy again, and I can just go ahead and do what I want. And this woman is like, no way. You cannot let him in that door until he proves himself better. We don't see a sign of proving anybody better yet. Because you're calling in your soulmate. All right. This is going to be a long one. Buckle up, people. I knew there was a reason I started this early, because, you know, downloading these to YouTube takes a long time. Especially when you're not like in a big city or whatever. So what is going on? Tell us about the... tell us about the soulmate. Tell us about the... You know what? I'm actually going to ask for a clarification on this guy. Okay? Can we get some clarification? Okay, interestingly enough, while I was shuffling, the King of Pentacles popped out, and I put him back. And then the Queen of Pentacles popped out to clarify this guy. This is a very content woman. She has... This is a dove, which to me right there is speaking about she is in tune with her spirit. She has had a prosperous life. She is looking very reflective and content. She's holding that pentacle, but she's not grasping it. It's kind of like, just wait, Axel. That's my cat, Axel. It's just like she's like sitting there kind of looking at what she's done. You know, I think that's a bowl of potatoes. Oh no, it's nuts from the tree that she's collected. She's a little tired, but this is good. So this is in clarification of that guy. Can we get some more clarification on what's going on with this guy? Mo. So, so clarification on this guy brings the horned god, which is the emperor, and the knight of Athens, which is the knight of swords. So, to get to this, a long life of contentedness. Oh, Spirit just says, oh, this is really interesting, that this is the tree she's under when it was young. Now, isn't that interesting? So give your relation, okay. These guys have caused you a lot of trouble. Okay? This guy has been one of them. But you saw a little bit more in him. But then he disappointed you. Right? And so you're like, you know what? Fuck off. I'm flying out of here. I'm finding out who I am. Right? I'm finding out who I am. And I can do better. But he's like, no. So you fly off and you collect your wands, you collect your potions, and you become who you need to be. Okay? So you separate from this guy. That's so interesting. And then everybody's like, you did the right thing. This is a young man. If you let him get away with this trickery, you will destroy both him and you. You have to separate from him, not just for your sake, but for his. So you do. Okay? And you take the time and you strengthen yourself. You find out who you are. People are praying for you. You're calling in your spirit guides. You've had some choices to make. But then this guy comes back. He's like, you know what? I can give you this now. I've taken the time. I'm not tricking you. Because I know that you will call me out. You will leave. For good. And then I will have lost something amazing. Wait. Wait for me. Wait for me. Spirit just says to read that. Wait for me. Wait. I'm sorry, right? Okay. And he's happy. Because he's relieved, because he doesn't want to be a shit. Now, interestingly, doesn't he look kind of like this guy? Wait. Wait, I'm sorry. I was raised to think one way. I thought I could get away with it. My friends are all dipshits. You know, this has always worked for them. And you're so pretty. All I could see was how pretty you were. But in our time apart, I've realized how amazing you are. So this, okay, I'm just going to read this. Because this card is of swift action, especially once his mind is made up. So he at one point could have said, okay, fine, fuck it. You want to break up with me? I'm going to go party with my friends. But then he can see that you're moving on. And you're bettering yourself. And that he's going to try to trick you to come back. And you're not having it. And he'll trick you maybe once or twice. And he's like, no, fuck off. You're not ready for me. Until one day he knows he can make the changes. Right? Spur of the moment enthusiasm swift actions, sudden changes, boldness, courage, ability, quick implementation of ideas. This card indicates smart, eager, and courageous person who is goal-focused and has the capacity to succeed with determination and incisiveness. Sudden changes are possible, as well as the skill to solve one's own problems. Because ultimately he can become this. He's the king of the forest. Those ravens are his spirit guides. Okay? He can become this. To create for you a life of this. Okay? I'm just going to do some outcome here. I can't see what the time is because the cards are... Outcome. Sagittarius Capricorn Cusp. Oh, this has been quite a ride. That might be the end. I'm going to do 3 and see what comes out. The end. Oh, no. Engagement. So Spirit just says to me, you see, they're partners. He is serving her. Now, a good relationship is give and take. Both partners give 150% and receive 150%. So when we're talking about taking somebody back, use your brain. Don't just take somebody back. Okay, that's what Spirit said. Okay. You can't change anybody. I saw something on Facebook one time, and it was very interesting for Facebook because, as we know, Facebook isn't the source of all knowledge. But it was a great quote that said, it is so hard to change ourselves. What makes us think that we can change somebody else? What makes us think that? Not possible. If this person is going to become your knight in shining armor, if he is going to become your emperor and you will become his queen, that can only happen. He might be your soulmate, but not all soulmates are meant to stay. But this says to give that relationship a chance, but only if he has made the changes. And you might have to be a little tough with this guy. You know, he might try to slide back into this energy. And you just keep those arms folded. It's like, no way, mister. And you know what? That can go on. I mean, don't let that go on. Don't let that go on thinking, oh, well, you know, Karen said in her that, you know, I'm supposed to give him another chance. A second chance, okay, not a third, not a fourth, not a fifth. Some people, if you can see they've done the work and they have made significant, long-lasting changes before they come back to you, everybody makes mistakes. But that shit's got to be fixed before they come back to you. They have to come with a jug full. They don't come to you with a jug half full for you to fill the other half, or empty for you to fill it all. Nobody wants to spend their life constantly being the mummy to one of these doofuses. And young woman in this reading is meant for greater things. Just going to see. I'll do 3 shuffles and see if there's anything else that comes out, because we're at 50 minutes, which is like record breaking. And the real grand finale, a real grand finale. Do one more. Outcome. Nope, that's it. Okay. Don't take shit. You know, release these guys. Learn the lessons from those. Don't let that say that you weren't ever good enough. Just learn that lesson. Become this woman. You have backup, earthly and spiritual, male and female. Okay? Have a great week. Have a great year.